All right, now we are going to start work on the rear bumper. The one thing that I do know about this is that in between these tabs, mounting tabs right here, it's 45 inches. Okay. And on the Land Rover, in between this tab right here, if you can see that, and that tab, guess what? Yep, 45 inches. So I sort of marked this out here where I need to cut, get it close, and I'll grind down the rest. And the only other problem with the Hanson bumper is that there's a step that goes down below this line here and interferes with this. We did kind of a major modification to the back of Diane's bumper. In fact, we chopped this whole thing off here and welded a whole new bumper to the frame rails. Obviously made it super solid, but I don't want to have to do that on this one. So we're gonna see what we can do as far as getting rid of that step and allowing it to slip in. We'll probably have to grind a little bit of this off here to get that smooth off the top, and we'll see if we can get this thing mounted fairly quickly. Now the other thing is that the plastic side molding over here needs to get cut because the Hanson bumper comes in here, and I know the other Land Rover bumpers have a full metal armor thing that blends into the side panel here, but you know, since we're not going to have that, we're going to have to deal with what we've got. So that's it. We're going to start cutting this thing and getting this bumper on. So here is the problem with this, as I mentioned before, with that bumper backing up right up against the tow hitch. It fits right in between the rails where we cut it, as you can see. But now dealing with that hitch and how it bumps up right against that rear plate is going to be the problematic thing. So we had to deal with it again with Diane's, but it's just, I don't want to have to go through that hoo-ha. And the other problem is that this is right up against that. So on Diane's, her bumper is moved over slightly, just enough for a clearance there. So yeah, we have to figure out a new way to mount this thing. This is going to be a tough one because this is a big, thick piece of steel, and underneath here as well. These are going to be easy cuts across the top and down the side here, but I'm just going to be using a cutoff wheel to get most of that done. So let's do it. This is really tough to cut. There's so many subframes to this subframe to this bumper frame, and plus all this thick stuff, and I'm just using a Harbor Freight bandsaw. It's not actually wide enough to cut through here, but it helped a little bit on some cuts. Yeah, but this is just a tough one to get through. All right, sorry, I keep forgetting to record, showing you that I ended up cutting a lot more than I wanted to, but it is what it is. Most of this mess is going to get covered up, so I'm not going to really bother with it. I'm welding on the side brackets so that I can drill and get mounted onto that. We have another bracket here that's going to be welded under in this area, which will connect to those 4 holes. So here's Diane's bumper. Pretty much the exact same thing, and my bumper is on. It's exactly the same thing, except this one has the lock here, and I gotta chop that off because guess what? Yep, oop, there you go. Can't open this. She doesn't have this on hers, but Let's go ahead and unlock it. And there it is. There's also another latch lock that I have that she doesn't have. But that's how it sits. Now hers came with the tire carrier. I'll probably fab one here because hers is offset, and I probably want to offset mine on this Jeep. It's supposed to be right here in the center. So there we go. We're almost done. And I got to do the tedious job of cutting around that. It's kind of a pain in the ass, but it is what it is. So there you go, fitting a Jeep bumper on an LR3. Boom.